It's being difficult this morning, but we'll be okay. Yeah, it just takes a minute for me to get it to load. I know. Here we go. Gotta wait for it to set up. It looks cuter on you this way, for sure. You like this shrimp, huh? Yeah. I'm sorry. I know your name is King Prawn. I'm sorry. Oh, good morning. How is everyone today? Okay. I am here. Maya's here too. If you haven't met her before, this is Maya. She is my lovable desk friend. Actually, she goes everywhere with me. So, let's be honest, I take her everywhere. But the point was, this is Maya. She's my fibromyalgia bunny, and she has been really loving her little plaid pajamas that don't look like pajamas. Let's pop out this chat. And we were just talking about her friend and my little friend, the emotional support shrimp. That's not a shrimp. He says, I am not a shrimp. I am King Prawn. That's his name, King Prawn. If you've never watched The Muppets in Space, you're missing out. Okay. Now. At some point, I'll figure out how to put all these things on my screen and lock them in place. I haven't got there yet. Let me scroll down here, make sure I'm connected. Okay. Okay. Good morning, Maya. Hello. She likes to sit on my desk right underneath my laptop. Don't put her there. And then I'll introduce the other two desk buddies to you. And then I'll tell you what happened over the last couple of days. And we'll get started on art. But first of all, let me say, hi, you clicked here. This is Periwinkle Palace Arts, my little place on the internet. And I am Princess Bun Bun. Hi. We do art here. We do other things too. Though mostly so far we've only done art. And we've only done coloring and markers and crayons and colored pencils. So, that's what we do here. If you want to chill with me, cool. Go ahead. Grab yourself some coffee. I've got mine. Maybe grab yourself a stuffed animal and just sit and talk to me in the chat, or grab a piece of art and you can do it while you chat with me. Or you could even maybe go to kittenclouder.com, find a class, and if you get the class, we could do a class together. But I will not show her classes on the internet. I only show myself coloring them. And it's not a tutorial, and I don't explain how to do it. I'm just doing it. Let's see. Let me finish introducing the buns so we can get them to the side of the desk. This is my bisexual celebrating bunny. She has the colors of the flag on her feet, and she has the binary not non-binary. I should probably have a conversation with myself out loud before I start the stream so I can warm up my voice. Anyway, this is the bisexuality flag in a heart on her tongue. And she has hearts in her eyes. And she's obviously different colors on each side. Blue in the ears. Let's see if she has any other marks. I don't think so. Anyway, her name is K Bye. Like, okay, but just the K. And Bye, like B-A-I. Bye. That's her name. K Bye. Say bye. Well, she's not saying bye. She's going to be here, but I put them over here in my little cup holder. At some point, I want to get a little swing for them. But I'm not there yet. We have Fidgets. This is my anxiety bunny. The hot pink version. And then she has anxiety. She's all like this. And she just has this symbol on her and these little marks on her hands and paws. And I love her tie-dye colored ears. And she has a worried expression on her face, and her hands are magnetic. So when she's not worried, she can put them in front of her like this. Like this. And that means she's not worrying. And also, she's kind of superhero-ish because, look, I have a metal desk. Let's see. If I put them right there, she can hang on my desk all by herself. No hands. I'll have to show you that in a different way later. Anyway, yeah. So this is my anxiety bunny. And if you ever want to know where Bob, the little tiny bad desk bunny, came from, he came from here. And he has a friend in the back of the bunny. And he hasn't been named yet. But he stays there. That's where he came from. You get two bunnies, two tiny anxiety bunnies, worry bunnies. That's what they're called. They're worry bunnies. Because you can play with them when you worry. And there's two in each anxiety bunny. They also have, I think, a yellow one, a black one, a bright orange one, and I think a teal colored one. So anyway, this is Fidgets. I'm gonna put Fidgets over here with K-Bye. Oh damn. What next? Okay, Bob. So we have our coffee. We have our introduced buddies. I need bunny ears. So I like to do art with my ears on. I don't know why. I think it just helps focus me. Plus they're cute. All right. Let me explain. On my last stream was Sunday. And I lost power again because of lightning. I had like 15 minutes. Well, I thought I had 15 minutes left that I was going to work on these. Turned out I have more than 15 minutes left. I did a couple of things off camera because the last stream was Sunday in the afternoon, and I didn't do a morning one, and I did do a stream on Saturday because I wasn't feeling good enough to get to my desk. And then on Sunday night, the air conditioner kind of flooded our wall and into our laundry room. There was water everywhere. So Monday morning, we had um, the repair people here, and basically found out we just needed a new air conditioner completely, which, yay, not cool. Anyway, in this household, having air conditioning is very important. The people in this house are extremely temperature sensitive, including myself. So, is a priority in this house. Um, so they were supposed to come today to install it, but they didn't. They got an earlier appointment. So yesterday they were here all morning, putting in the new air conditioner inside and outside. And I was blocked from coming out of my room because the air conditioner is right there in that hallway. And then that took a long time. They got here at like 5:30 in the morning. Like, wow. And then they didn't leave until like maybe afternoon, like noon or 1 o'clock. I don't know. And then I thought I was gonna come out here, but I was highly overstimulated from having unknown people in my house. It stresses me out. Anyway, so I just watched some movies yesterday, and I did yesterday start working on testing some theories I have for trying to blend this out. Now you can see, if you look back the other day, it's lighter. I've got this edge around it still, but it is lighter and a little bit more blended. So I didn't do anything on this one as far as blending. We'll do that today. I want to add some like details in the black. I don't know what kind of details yet, but we'll be working on that. This is a process that I call finishing the art. It's where the basics are down there, everything's filled in, but I'll go back, I'll add white highlights or details with black and white or glitter, whatever. So I want to do that on here. And then this, I fully finished blending it out off camera. It took forever. You would have been bored sitting here watching that for all that time. I want to say it took approximately 3 hours total. But I got it all blended out, and I added some more color to this part before I blended it out. It's all burnished down, so we're going to add some details to that. I already filled in the butterfly with the Spectrum Noir metallic flip markers, and I added my little symbol that I like to add to all of my papers right there on the wing. Okay. I also went ahead and pulled out all of these colors from my markers. All of these. And they're already set up over there. This is for the Wickedly Good class in marker. And yeah. Okay. My mouth is super dry. Right. After I finish these pieces, these 4, I'm going to take a break from coloring because I absolutely have to do these nails. Now, I don't know at this moment if I'm going to do the cuticle cleanup and prep on my nails on live. I might do them all off camera and then come back on live to do the last like 1 or 2 fingers just so you can see what I'm doing, but it takes a long time. It's kind of boring to me, and I end up doing a bunch of random stuff in between each finger. But I am going to show you what I do, how I do it, and how I apply my overlays. One way or the other, we will do the nail art itself on camera. I showed you the other day that I got these nail wraps that I bought, and I'm going to be applying those on live with you guys. But I tend to take lots of breaks in between working on each nail because my hands get tired and the vibration makes it hard for my hands to hold things. They go numb. My hands go numb a lot. So I have to keep doing other things around me to break up how long I'm holding the electric drill. And sometimes it's so bad I have to switch to hand filing. Anyway, I can't continue to not do the self-care on my hands. I'm going to start getting fussed at. Okay. Who do we want to start with? Okay. We'll start with this. That should help with the dry mouth. Okay. Over here in the left-hand corner of my screen, you can see what I'm listening to in this little box. Can I do that? That box. It just shows the album title and cover of the album. I might at some point start adding in some background music, non-copyrighted background music, obviously. But for right now, I listen in my ear. I listen to my TV in this ear. The headphones are a necessity because they also help to block out random noises around me because I'm very sensitive to sounds. My hair is being tangly today. Okay. I know, Maya, I know. Let me tell you what I was doing yesterday. I wasn't dropping stuff much yesterday. Apparently that's going to be the theme of the day. So this close into the flower is RV 95. And I had used RV 000 and RV 000 to try and blend that out. It turned out two things went wrong. One, I was using the chisel tip of the markers and I was flooding the paper, especially with this darkest color. I don't know why I did that. I do know that that's not the way you use these markers, but I guess I just was in a fog that day. So my task at this moment on here is to try and blend that out so that it doesn't have that dark line, and I've been somewhat successful. I've used several different methods. I'm not really sure which one worked the best, but we're going to keep going with it until I either get it as close to what I want or what I can attain at this point, or until I get it blended out enough that it is acceptable, or until I cannot blend it anymore, which might happen. So R95 was the first color. We do not need any more of that color on the page at all. I need my lighting to change a little bit here. Okay, so we don't want to put any of that darkest color down anywhere. I've been using R91, RV91 on the outer edge and trying to bring this whole thing closer together in color. And I'm using RV93 very softly in the middle, that's what this color is, to try to bridge that gap. And I've been using the colorless blender to fade that edge. You can see that this color is really desaturated around the edges, like of the flower. It's got these speckles in it. So, like around in here, there's speckles. I don't know if you can see that on camera. And then we've got this kind of hard line going on. Yeah, and it looks streaky in some spots. We're gonna try and continue blending that out. I've been doing different ways in different sections. So like this section right here was one way, this section right here was one way, and this section right here was one way. And what I've discovered is I don't think it really matters how you do it. You just keep doing it until you get somewhere. So I'm gonna start out by going back over this edge down here. It's a much harder edge than the one up here with the colorless blender. And I'm basically just going to soak that hard line down with the colorless blender. And what I was doing yesterday, I had to kind of do the thing and then wait for it to dry a bit. And I was putting a lot of ink in, so I may have to refill these colors soon. That's not a problem. I have the refills. I think when your markers start squeaking like that, it's a good sign that you need to add ink. But I'm not sure. If anybody knows, you can tell me in the chat or in the comments. Hey, lemonade, lemonade, rose bloom in the shade, growing up is a phase. It is what it is, okay. It's not the end of the world. All right. It is what it is, what it is, what it is, what it is. All right. I'm going to come in from the edge with my lightest color, RV91. And I pulled those out because they're basically the same shade, I think. There's a difference between color family and shade. I think another way to tell if you need to fill up your marker is not just that squeak, but when you're coloring and you get like a white area on the tip, that means it's not filling up very fast. Can you see that? I'm going to come back in here and see if I can get this to be looking less desaturated without adding too much to that line. And one thing I know is that this is going to be a little bit different to blend than the Phoenix edge because I went from darkest to lightest outwards on this one. On the Phoenix one, I went from darkest to lightest from the outside to the inside. And there's a whole range from 0 to 10 as well as black of the grays that I was using to create that background. So it will probably be a little bit easier to blend, but I'm not guaranteeing that. This has been difficult actually. It's been a little bit difficult. And I'm hoping that this lightest shade here will just fill in the desaturated areas. Look a little closer, you can see my eyes. Put it on what's going but it's just a smile in the morning. Could you make me too? Could you make me? Could you make me if I told you I should? I don't really need any more pigment in the area close to the flower, but I'm hoping, I'm not kidding when the title says experimenting. We're experimenting. And we have no idea how it's going to come out. None whatsoever. Feels like I do, never the forget. Songs fading by. Feels like I make the world. Always remain true. Songs fading by. I did choose marker color that I knew I wasn't going to need for the next actual class I'm doing, because I was worried that I might have to refill them, and I don't like it when refilling my markers prevents me from starting a class. I don't know how hard it's going to be with Copics. It's very, very hard with Spectrum Noirs to refill them. For me, it's very hard. I struggled. So it may not even be a thing that I have to deal with, but all we can do is experiment, figure it out. That's it. It's the FAFO method for art. Okay, let that dry a little bit. So, I've been trying to think of some basic topics to start with on here. I know it's probably kind of odd that somebody's streaming but not really discussing anything in particular all the time. The truth is, I'm mostly here about the art. But I do have things I want to talk about. Lots of them. I just can't choose. I have some severe issues with making decisions. Not big decisions, tiny ones. If I have a tiny decision to make, sometimes it can just block me from being able to make a decision, and then I don't do the thing until I make a decision. Like, sometimes I can't choose what color of nail polish to put on. And I have a lot of nail polish, so that could be a problem. And that's just like on the basic level. So I kind of been Googling and looking for a list of questions, but I don't think many of them they don't feel relevant for me at the moment. Not about art and not about what I'm doing and not about who I am. Honestly, I was hoping that I would have at least some friend or something that would jump on the stream and chat with me. But I forgot that when I'm streaming, most people aren't home. They're at work. It's a thing. I want to get the conversation started, but I don't know where to start. I'll get there eventually. I believe in myself. I believe in myself. I'm looking at the back because if you look at the back of your page, you can really see where there's like the most color and where there's not the most color, as well as you can see if it's dried yet. I don't usually do this, okay? I don't usually have to wait for the art to dry with alcohol markers, but that's because usually I haven't put this much ink on the paper, so I'm not sitting here waiting to see how it dries before I add more color or whatever. Yeah. But I'm waiting now so I can see how it blends out before I continue. And I really feel like this needs maybe some more RV, the mid-range color. 93. Let's try that. I'm gonna use the chisel tip, but I'm only gonna make one little swipe for each area. I'm trying to soak it enough that it blends but doesn't streak. Like I said, well, this isn't the best way to do what I did. It does help you apply a good thin even layer of ink without apply. It does allow you to apply a very even amount of ink pretty quickly. And really, as I look at this, honestly, I'm wondering if I just match the amount of ink that I put down on the inner layer so that it's just as dark, it's just as filled in with pigment as this is, I might get somewhere. But I'm also trying to lighten colors as well. I don't know. I'm kind of just trying to fill in this white on the back. I don't know if that makes any sense, but okay, yeah, I'm testing that theory. If I just put down enough ink of a mid-range color and fill in that, excuse me, fill in that white area on the back, will it blend better? You can see it's getting a little bit more dense as far as the coverage. I feel like the top is pretty good compared to where it was. Let's soak it some more. Whatever, right? This is exactly what I did on the darker color that messed it up. Since going lighter wasn't really helping much, and I saw on the back that it's very white, what if I do pretty much the same thing that I was wrong, that I did kind of wrong? There's no way to do art wrong, okay? But I didn't mean to do that. The area that I didn't like, I did this. So maybe if I really wet that area down next to it, it'll leave enough ink on the paper for that darker color to blend into. No, I don't know what I'm saying. Alright, I'm gonna let that dry and see what happens. I want it to dry completely and see where we're at. Let's grab our Phoenix. I think this should be easier. Now, I'm not as disappointed about how this one's going, because I do kind of like the lines around it, but I do want to fully fade them a little bit closer together. Okay, so we have the full range of T through T0 through T10 plus black. I'm going to start here and I'm going to go through every single color, and I'm just going to do it in smaller lines. So like from here to here, that's pretty much really close. But I did the colors separated by every 2 in the range. So I went T2, T4, T6, T8, and T10. And we're going to come in with the lower range. I mean, all of the full range. We're going to come in with the full range, do every color. That's what I'm trying to say. uh, bear with me. Everything's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We got T0. I'm going to come way in here. I'm not being real detailed here because I'm just using T0 to kind of wet the edge here. I'm going to come back when I'm fully done with this with that fluorescent yellow and go over the areas that I got this gray on, but it'll be fine. Right. We're going to try not to go back into the feather area. We're just come around it. And I'm going to try to be really quick because that way it won't dry before I'm done. And I'm kind of just feathering and dabbing. All right, and we're just going to continue this around through the entire color range. Shade range. Yeah, shade range. Yeah, I think that's blending a little bit better. This one's easier to see as well. This one's easier to see because it's... I don't know why it's easier to see. I can't tell you that, actually. I could make a theory. I'm being messy again, and I'm doing that on purpose. I want it to be kind of randomly fading, not with that line that we have. That was T2. Let's go with 3. And remember, all I'm trying to do is reduce the actual appearance of lines through here. Trying to remember I can bring this color in further because there's more colors. And bring it further in and bring it further out. Okay. Did I do both sides? I'm really not sure. Let's go to 4. Uh-oh. Number 4. Let's try to start at the same place each time, maybe. I feel like maybe I need to go from out to in. I don't know. Oops, I got them mixed up. 4, 5. Yeah, I feel like I'm still gonna have to come back and go the opposite direction, basically. I am aware that I'm putting down much more ink on these backgrounds that I normally would with Copic markers. I mean, you really don't need all this ink, and it's kind of a waste. I'm just being honest. But again, I'm experimenting, and I'm okay with these colors needing to be refilled. I have every single color refill already sitting right over there. Okay, black. I'm using the special black this time because, well, I learned the other day that this special black is basically toner black. It doesn't have a color hint to it underneath. It's like it matches with the toner gray. I don't know if it matches with other grays, but the regular black has a blue cast to it almost. So I guess that's why there's special black. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now I'm going to go the same thing, go in the other direction. But sometimes you need to go both directions. I'm going to make these lines again a lot thinner. Don't judge me for my singing. I'm not a professional singer. I just really like music a lot. I can't remember if I did this side, didn't I? No, we're gonna do flicks, okay, mostly. Basically, to do this, I'm just going right against the darkest color on the page I'm bringing it out a little bit. So it's actually going to come in and be darker towards the phoenix, but that's okay. That's what I'm going for. Six. Five. don't do the walk of shame or strut. You can suck my dust. Go back, kiss goodbye. My girl, I don't do the walk of shame or strut. I just can't. Oh, I kiss goodbye. T3. Yeah, so for future reference for myself, I should definitely go darkest to lightest when doing a big background like this. And I'm thinking about why this should be the case, because I'm not real sure, honestly. It's just seeming to be the better option. Cry, baby, see Africa. Don't pay me, don't pay me. It's all too much. Waste us printing. Parents always tell me to use Telling us to get our together. One. We should get our act together. When you kiss me, kiss me. It was never love, it was never us. No, I still can't believe I gave you the shirt right off my back. I take it, I don't know it, just my skin and bones. You must take it, so I know. I'm thinking it was you. I think I know it's not. Alright, let's get real close in. Alright. I'm gonna let that sit for a minute. Let's see what's going on with this. Alright, that looks interesting, right? No. Alright. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. I'm really putting a lot of ink down, and this isn't normally something you would do. So I keep moving, so I keep spinning. I don't know. And I don't know. Is it looking any better? Okay. I'm not sure if this is the best way to go about this. So, my idea here was, oh, I've got too much ink. Let me kind of bleed that out and then apply more ink. I might have should have gone the other direction. Right now, I know I said we weren't going to put any more back down, but I'm going to put some of this RV 95 back on the page where it's very light. Gonna do a quick coat, very quick. If I'm single, then I'm better. I'm just a chest looking for her. If I don't, I'm alone. If I smoke, I'm a stone. I love her, but I'm still. All right, real quick, again, I'm going to come back with 93 and then 81. I just want to make sure this is blended well. If I smoke, I'm a star. But I'm still a home runner. That's one. If I am a mess, might as well be at one. Weakness, number one, that's I think that might be the best it's gonna get. Alright, I'm gonna call that done. We're gonna leave it there for right now. Let's check out the Phoenix. I'm not sure if I like this right now. What a pain, right? I'll set it to the side. It might be done. I might call it done. Okay. We're gonna do something completely different now. For a little bit. Let me see if this gel pen works. Nope, 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 nope. Okay, no white gel pen. I think I want to go blue to blue here over these letters. Okay. I'm going to go over the black and slightly outside of the line. So I'm trying to make sure that I get it fully on the line, but also a thin amount outside the line of the letters, because these flip markers look different depending on whether they're on dark color versus light color. Oh, sorry about that. I'm very uncomfortable right now. Now, these don't really soak in. They sit on top and dry, especially over wax-based materials. But we're going to sit here and line the entire letters. It's kind of feathering a little bit, but I don't mind it. And this is the Spectrum Noir metallic flip marker, and the color is called Reef. And this is going to take a little bit. I've got to make sure I don't smudge it as if it was like a gel pen. I don't want to smudge it. Smudge. Can you see how, I don't know, let me pull it down further. You see how it looks a little bit different on the very edges? It's more blue, but on the dart, it has more of a green tint. Maybe I can catch it that way. Anyway, I'm going to turn it this way so that I can go across this way. Is this all I have to give? I don't care when I say goodbye. Till you saw me, I will try. Have a good life, I'll see you never. Popping my fist, we're not together. Yeah, only really liked your mama. Goodbye, love, cheers to your drama. Have a good life, I will without you. Find a new bed, someone to lie to. Ain't nobody gonna treat you better. Goodbye, love, I'll see you never. Don't pay any attention to the woman behind the art. Tell your friends you don't care when I say goodbye. Tell yourself I've moved on and leaving you behind. Have a good life, I'll see you never. Pumping my fist, we're not together. I never really liked your mama. Goodbye, love, to your drama. Find a new bed, someone I like you. Ain't nobody gonna treat you better. Goodbye, love. Tell your friends you don't care when you say goodbye. Everything life has I never really liked your mama like I love just. Look at you doing through, but you're out of it. I'm afraid to let down. Every day, so there, never afraid to skip back, come back around. Like deep inside, you know what I didn't do this morning? I never started my time lapse. Oops. Once, check me twice. Don't you know that cash ain't the only price? Coming back around. That looks pretty, yeah? A little weird, but it's pretty. Right on the ground, almost like a potato. Step by step, from down to the Okay. I like that. I'm still an optimist. I might just move on from this, but I'm different now. Alright. think we're going to take the other blue. Yeah? It goes from green to blue to dark blue. Almost purple. I'm not going to go over the center. Oops. No. Did I smudge it? No. Okay. I'm going to go on the outside of these letters because I want to leave the periwinkle in the center alone. Okay. And these don't always show up the best, but I think they're fun to play with. I don't use them often because they don't do what I thought they were going to do when I bought them. I thought that I thought it would change colors as you colored somehow. I don't know what I was thinking. Kind of like those chameleon color change markers, which I always wanted to get a set of those, but I just never got around to it. I have never got around to it. Okay, this marker is a little bit yucky. Hang on. Yeah. I don't want it to do what it's doing. There we go. That's a bit more flow than I wanted, but it'll work. I gotta be careful where I put my hand. If I touch that, it's gonna smudge really bad. Oops. Okay, that really has to dry before I do anything else. I like it though. Okay. Again, I have to set this aside. I'm thinking. I'm going to put rainforest on the word easy. We're going to go around it a little bit, but mostly inside of it. This is how I make accidental art though. Like this. One of the ways I make accidental art. And then I keep them. Let me start over here with the E. Oops, that's an awful lot of ink. Hang on. Come on. Let's go a little quicker, okay? Okay, that was rainforest. So I've done, this is reef, this is cosmos, and this is rainforest. Real quick, I want to take my black Ferrothin pencil and just, maybe not that one. Okay, hang on. Let's take a black Prismacolor regular. I'm just gonna put these little antenna Make them a little bit darker. Easy. Next to the word easy. I think we're going to do this one, galaxy, for the top words. That might be all we can do on this because, like, I did the wording first because I wanted to get that set and the color, but I might not be able to add anything to it if it doesn't dry completely well enough. Yeah. I really kind of like it now. Let me know what you think. I like that it still has a little bit of that fuzziness, but it's more blended. I'm going to take my colorless blender. I'm going to come back over the tips of all these feathers that have a little gray in them, kind of remove it, and then we'll get the fluorescent yellow and come back over the wings again. The flames, not the wings, the flames. And I know that we're kind of going all over the place today. And this is what happens when I have quite a few projects done and want to finish them out before I move to the next thing. And I definitely want to finish these out before I move to doing my nails. So what kind of other art do I do? Well, I like to do fiber crafts and DIY projects. I like to do diamond painting, if you know what that is. I paint, not really on paper too much yet, although I am planning on doing that soon, starting to learn about it. I draw, not great, but I draw. More like I'm learning to draw. What else do I do? Sometimes I make jewelry. I like to make hair bows. I've made those before. Really, I just do a little bit of everything. My main art is coloring, but I do a lot of stuff. I'm moving really quick with my colorless marker because I don't want to catch any of the ink that's gonna streak. Although it does kind of make, like if you look at it, it does kind of blend it a little bit. I kind of like that actually. Haha, experiment. Let me do that everywhere. All I have to do to make that orange kind of fade out towards the edge is go a little bit slower. And I can actually go over it twice. Still really quick, but if I go over it twice, the first time it kind of wets the area, and the second time that streak comes through. I like this a lot. Oops. It's an oops discovery. Accidental art. I'm busy trying to stay and I'm kind of hoping that doing the streaks like I'm doing them a little bit further out from it as well will kind of give a streaky look to the surrounding area. And this is just, I'm going to be a little bit more finicky with this now than I thought I would be, because this is really adding something to it that I didn't really think it would. I didn't think this through. I didn't know this would happen. I like it, I like it, I like it. Oh, do you see how it's actually giving that streaky look around the phoenix? I don't know if you can see it. It is almost lunchtime. I do try to stick to that schedule. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this stream, and I'm definitely gonna come back this afternoon in a little bit, and we're going to continue working on this for sure, and probably on this too. Yeah, we'll do that. So let me go ahead and end this, and I will be back after lunch. This is Periwinkle Palace Arts. Thanks for joining me and hanging out. If you made it this far into the video, thanks. I really appreciate that. I really hope you enjoy what I'm doing here. I will get better at it. And, oh my goodness, my voice sounds a little bit like RFK Jr., which is not a positive thing, let me clarify. I'm Princess Bun Bun, and we have done art here. Bye.